roster in front of me right now.
McDonald's or esports versus Backdoor Heroes.
You got it. Looks like the game is going to be underway shortly.
And again, McDonald's or esports having several familiar faces. Actually, two familiar faces returning as members of a previous team known as Salmon Humpers, which I'm sure you all remember. Always
very
a team name you don't forget that easily. Salmon Humpers kind of sticks out. Anyway, we're in the champion select now. As the teams all connect in, we should be seeing the bans very shortly here. Jarvan the Fourth being the first one out the gate.
Yeah, initially, Jarvan the Fourth actually seeing quite a bit of play in the last couple of weeks as a jungler, a very notoriously effective jungler with his ganks, with that Demacian knockup. Kennen being banned out right now. Backdoor Heroes really don't want to deal with that area of effect. Volibear being a very quick ban, actually.
Yeah, Volibear is not something we've seen too much recently, even in this own tournament of LCS, really anywhere. It's kind of surprising to see it banned out. They're probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they're directly targeting the jungler on Backdoor Heroes right now. The Scion ban. I'm not sure.
I'm raising my eyebrow at that one.
I'm starting to think they might be just throwing away the bans by this point. Really, they only wanted Jarvan gone, and they didn't really think of anything else.
Yeah, I think they're more going for comfort picks than anything. They're pretty much thinking, we're going to take our team, you're going to take yours, and we'll see what's going on. Currently, Backdoor Hero is actually avoiding a lot of area of effect-based initiation in Kennen, Zac, and Malphite, banning out quite a few junglers, and then, of course, the mid or top lane Kennen. Thresh being locked for McDonald's or esports, Degnum taking that very popular support, Sejuani and Renekton, who saw quite a bit of good play last game. This may be a different team, but Renekton also seen some shining play during this Amateur Open, Sejuani also being locked in, and currently Rengar being hovered over.
Yeah, and the Renekton we saw in last game was just ridiculous. He was tower diving 1v1, 2v1, whatever, just against the Jace that he was dominating. The Rengar switched over to Hecarim and locked in pretty quickly. Just taking a lot of couple Shadow Isles champions, actually.
Something strange to note is that currently all of McDonald's or esports currently running Revive Teleport, currently cycling through a couple of champions. Right now, the Hecarim block is actually rather interesting in that he has quite a bit of area of effect initiation. Through that, I believe it's Onslaught of Shadows is his ultimate,
Yes.
but if they can get a good 5 versus 5 lockup and have Hecarim just rampage through the entire team with that ultimate, it's going to scatter Backdoor Heroes and leave them very vulnerable to Ezreal and Thresh, who can very easily pick off scattered champions.
Yeah, we're not entirely sure about the entire compositions of both teams, but yes, Backdoor Heroes very obviously is trying to avoid some AoE initiation ultimates, and already McDonald's has been picking up champions that are kind of like that, because it's obvious that Backdoor doesn't like it, and they don't like to deal with it, so it's good to pick against what they already know they don't want to play against.
Yeah, Hecarim being very notorious for his area of effect. I do believe McDonald's or esports has noticed the fact that they're banning a lot of area of effect, and as such want to get as much as possible. It's one of the reasons why I'm seeing this Hecarim pick. Currently, Graves being hovered over for the JP. Kind of a risky pick, honestly, but we may actually see a support Fiddlesticks.
That's not too surprising. And despite what the bans are, both teams are actually picking a lot of initiation champions. Even though it's a support Fiddlesticks, the Crowstorm isn't that bad of an initiate. It's a lot of base damage, even when you're not building AP. You still get a lot of damage out there, even if you're just a support. Then you have the Glacial Prison and the Dominus there as well. Along with the collateral damage, ton of area of effect. Not a whole lot of crowd control. So far they're just relying on the Glacial Prison for that. But it's still a lot of AoE damage.
Yeah, right now, as opposed to last game where we saw quite a bit of skirmishing, and both teams really wanted those 2 versus 2 and 3 versus 3 fights concerning their team compositions, this is a very stark opposite. Right now, both of these teams want to just clash on 5 versus 5, just come in with a bunch of area of effect and just simply out-damage the other team. You can really see this with McDonald's or esports final 2 picks, Karthus and Diana. Diana has that Moonfall that can just pull everyone together, and then of course Karthus with his Defile, area of effect, circle, of course, and then of course he has the Requiem, the simple press R to win ultimate that can just target every single champion on the map regardless of position. So a lot of area of effect coming into position for both teams.
Yeah, the big death circle. Just press E and walk at your enemies. That's the Karthus. Pop and drop walking that in. One last pick, just waiting on here for backdoor heroes, and yeah, both teams ton of area of effect they're going for, and something we've seen from a lot of teams today. The second game we watched earlier, both teams actually had this great initiation counter initiation comp, but because one team actually got so far ahead, they were avoiding the full on fights because they didn't want to actually risk the counter engage and losing the game from that.
Yeah, currently a couple of cycled picks for the final pick. And I want to note that even during the laning phase, there's going to be a lot of initiation and counter initiation. Keep in mind that this is a support Fiddlesticks who's probably going to be maxing his Fear first, and that Fear has quite a long duration. So if McDonald's or Esports' bottom lane, Decknam and Aaron is my name, actually get caught out, that Fear can actually be a very notorious counter initiation and allow Graves, the JP, to get some quite a bit of free damage. Final lock-in is actually Katarina carrying teleport, so we could see quite a bit of roaming potential from her into the bottom lane.
And that Katarina pick is actually pretty surprising to me. Again, there's not a whole lot of AoE crowd control. You really just had the Glacial Prison, a few slows here and there, one stun from I can't even read that name. Sorry,
Dermans, I believe. Dumans?
Dernaker. I don't know. Renekton.
Renekton.
We'll get the summoner name. We'll get the summoner names down pretty quickly here. Just
Yeah.
bear with us. But anyway, there's not a whole lot of crowd control to really initiate for Katarina because she's not the champion that can jump into the fight at first. She needs to wait until either all the crowd control is blown, or and for both sides, one on her side to initiate, but on the other side she needs it gone so she can't be interrupted while channeling Death Lotus.
And
Um,
keep in mind, even after that crowd control is expended, she still has to worry about quite a bit of damage through Hecarim, Diana, and Karthus, who are going to be outputting a lot of consistent damage. Most specifically, Karthus with that Circle of Doom, the Defile. So she's putting herself at quite a bit of risk. I think she really wants to rely a lot on assassination potential and those early game skirmishes. One of the reasons why she's carrying Summoner Teleport, try to cement an early bottom lane advantage and snowball from there.
Bottom lane or top lane, she's looking to just apply a lot of map pressure. Actually, Pop and Drop has his own teleport along with the Requiem, so it's just globals for globals, and they're just trying to match any map pressure they can with the summoner teleports.
Yeah, last game we had both top lanes taking teleport. Now we have both mid lanes taking teleport, omitting any kind of offensive summoner spell. Very interesting choice, and it looks like Diana top lane going to be running the Ignite, looking fairly standard there. All the other summoner spells look fairly standard. Exhaust for the supports, barriers for AD carries, smites, of course, for the junglers. Hecarim noted has taken Ghost over Flash, of course, because of his passive Warpath, which gives him bonus damage based off of his movement speed, and that does include the movement speed gain from Ghost. So a fairly common pick for Hecarim, not really out of the ordinary. So the only notable really summoner spell choice here are the teleports on mid lane, signifying probably some early aggression.
I commend you for remembering the name on that passive. That's not something I would have done.
Sheer dumb luck,
Uh,
I assure you.
Hecarim isn't one of those champions I really remember any of the skill names. I remember Onslaught of Shadows and Rampage, and then nothing else.
Of
But
course, the favorite nickname of Hecarim being Horsey. So if I accidentally refer to him as Horsey within the game, I do apologize profusely. I will try to refer to him as Polarance, who is currently playing Hecarim. But looking at about a 45 seconds until we get into this game. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of 5 versus 5 initiations here, just simply because there is so much area of effect damage on all of these teams. And if there is not a 5 versus 5 engagement, we may actually see quite a bit of split pushing going on and seeing who can really catch the most people off guard. It's really going to depend upon who gets caught out if there is no real grouping.
yeah, generally, just because of the comps, I wouldn't be too too much looking for that split push. But just because of the double teleport in there, that's
Yeah.
really the only reason that would be existing. One reminder as we're getting into game, you can check out all of our social network links in the bottom. You can apply to join this tournament in the near future. Just if you have a team that you want to participate with, click the Google link below and you can do that. And you can also donate to our stream, help us get better equipment so we don't have to really just provide, just so we can provide better stream quality and even more stream options for you in the future.
Things are going great, but with your guys' help, we can make it even better. Right now, the game is currently getting underway. Skin Intimidation Factor. Let's go ahead and take a look. We have Bear Cavalry Sejuani by BDH the Batman, one of the newest skins released to the League of Legends. Currently rocking that. I've yet to see the in-game model, but the splash art currently looks completely badass. Renekton, Graves, Fiddlesticks, and Katarina rocking their default skins. Grim Reaper Karthus for the blue team, pop and drop running the Grim Reaper. Reaper Hecarim, so a lot of Reapers going on right now. Alongside Deep Terror Thresh, Pulsefire Ezreal, the ultimate skin, Decnum running that. And of course Diana with her standard.
Yeah, we have. I'm not entirely sure if we have yet to see a Spirit Guard Udyr in this tournament as well. We've just seen the Pulsefire Ezreals. I could be wrong, but as usual.
Personally, I do not remember one personally, but there may have in previous weeks. I do not know, however.
Anyway, yeah, Ultimate Skin definitely takes that. There's only one on Backdoor Heroes right now.
Yeah, Pulsefire Ezreal, one of the more expensive ones, but one of the more badass as he's evolving throughout the game. Let's see if he can evolve enough to carry his team to victory. McDonalds or Esports versus Backdoor Heroes. Game 4, Week 6 of the League of Legends Amateur Open about to get underway.
Yes, it is, and we should be getting into the game very shortly. Just taking a couple minutes to load BDH, Crow, and the JP last to get in here. We're just waiting on them. Should be in pretty quickly. What do you expect from the level 1s out of these two teams?
We may see a level 1 team fight because both of these teams are so team fight oriented. They really don't need all of their spells to really get into those 5 versus 5 fights. So we'll have to see which team really wants to get aggressive in those jungle invasions and whether they really want to invade at all. Because both teams are so area of effect heavy, both teams may simply want to hang back and defend to really avoid those fights. It'll really depend upon how confident McDonald's Esports or Backdoor Heroes really want to be in this early game.
And one thing I'm looking at for the level 1 fights is that both of the supports, they both have very powerful Q abilities that they normally pick up as supports at level 1. Death Sentence and Terrify both insanely powerful for locking one person down, and then there's a lot of damage there to follow up with. You have basically everyone has damage to follow up with. Karthus and Diana both have their abilities, and Ezreal also just early level 1, you have Mystic Shot that's on a very spammable cooldown. As long as he can continue to land it, he's going to put out a lot of damage in a level 1 fight if it breaks out.
Yes, indeed. It's really going I do believe they will have the team fight advantage because of those very short cooldowns. But again, it'll entirely depend upon whether they want to fight. Ooh, Katarina actually face-checking the bush, getting hit by the Thresh Grab, flashing over the wall with so little health. Ezreal flashing over, trying to catch her as well. Does he have Mystic Shot? Currently tower diving. Phil blocks the Mystic Shot, and the tower is going to pick up Ezreal. Fiddlesticks taking on the First Blood.
That was very aggressive out of Decnum. Any level 1 turret dive is something you just generally do not do, and he just broke that rule. But at least for McDonald's, the First Blood did go to the support. So really you just have 200 gold assist on the AD carry, and that's it. But yeah, I say that's it. It is actually a pretty good advantage. 200 gold at level 1 is not anything to laugh at.
And it'll depend upon whether Crow wants to back and actually try to pick up extra items because of that. Currently, he has pink warded their bottom lane brush relatively early, I might add. So it'll depend upon whether he wants to back and use that gold or simply hold on to it. But what was key in that fight was that he showed up just in time to block that Ezreal Mystic Shot, which would have taken out Night Stalker. So very smart play on his behalf. Again, you are very right in that the level 1 tower dive was almost suicidal, but the kill would have worked. He would have gained the First Blood advantage. Unfortunately, he showed Night Stalker showed, or not Night Stalker. Crow showed up just in time to block that Mystic Shot, save his life, and pick up First Blood for their team.
And the name works. He's Crow and he's Fiddlesticks. Never mind.
You aren't joking. I just noticed that. Well played. Good pickup. I did not notice that.
Anyway.
So, currently, lane's getting underway. Looking to be relatively safe openings right now. I do want to note that Katarina on Night Stalker on Katarina has open boots and 4 potions. So, because her only escape is going to be in Shumpo, she's going to want as much movement speed as possible to catch up to Karthus, pick up those bouncing blades, get that harassment off. So the movement speed is going to be a little bit important here, though the boot opening not quite as common as it was back in season 2.
No, it really isn't, and I think it's just there for. Oh, Dectum is feared.
Ooh, bottom lane.
Yeah, exhaust goes down. Actually, JP gets the last hit there. That was. Again, Dectum is being unusually aggressive this game. It hasn't been working out for him. He walked into the fear range of Crow, and it really didn't. He just got bursted, pretty much. There's no other way to put that.
Yeah,
he got,
great.
well,
Graves
he got
is susceptible to counterattacks with his notoriously short auto attack range. But if you're feared and just walking around aimlessly, you're not going to be able to auto attack him to compensate. Thresh trying to get a death sentence there, unfortunately, does not land, which means Polarance is going to have to just sit in the tri-brush, probably wait on cooldowns or wait for an opening. No, looks like he's going to cycle back up.
Yeah, and Dectum is still level 1 after all that. JP and Crow are both 3, and Aaron is 3 as well. And Dectum is really just kind of have to sit back and try to eat as much experience as possible, even like just to get his level advantage back or disadvantage from being too much.
Yeah,
And
he has his work cut out for him.
And thankfully, he was able to last hit relatively well under turret there. Actually, top lane Lag TV is at a level disadvantage to Demakara as well. Levels going pretty much to everyone on backdoor heroes so far.
Yeah, notorious advantage for them early game simply because of the aggression they've been able to put out. Bose on Diana has actually been taken down quite low. Does have the health potions to get that health back up as she's last hitting under turret. But keep in mind that she is out of mana. And of course, Doommaker, I'm going to call him Doommaker, on Renekton, he is manaless. So he's going to be able to sit in lane with those health potions and just farm this out, wait for Diana to get even more out of mana than she already is, and just harass her from there.
Yeah, Diana is generally one of those champions that's actually pretty decent at last hitting under turret, but it also relies on your AoE from the shield and the crescent slash. Yes, crescent slash. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. The Diana, like, again, I just don't play a lot of anyone besides AD carry and support, so names from basic abilities I don't remember as much. Yes, it is Crescent Slash and Pale Cascade the shield. Anyway, that along with her passive, it just allows her to last it relatively easy and melt waves very quickly under turret. But because she's out of mana, she doesn't have that option, and it's really just relying on her passive to do that for her.
Yeah, it's almost a similar case in mid lane, which speaking of mid lane, Katarina has blown her Shumpo. Hecarim coming in with that devastating charge. Katarina is going to be able to get back to the safety of the tower, but good damage coming out. Karthus, keep in mind, is also running on mana. That's the point I was trying to get back to. Katarina is manaless, so if she can play it safe and start last hitting a little effectively alongside harassing Karthus with those bouncing blades, she's going to get an advantage because Karthus is eventually going to run out of mana, even with that passive from Defile.
And the Batman looking for a little bit of a gank, but Pop and Drop did back after that engagement. And I want to kind of go back to this boot start that Nico the Night Stalker went, and it was just because of the matchup. If you can just dance around all those lay waste, you can really just avoid any harass damage that Karthus can put out. Pop and Drop has actually been running himself out of mana between doing that and using lay waste to last hit with. And so far, Night Stalker has been avoiding that relatively well. He's popped all of his potions so far, but he's still at full health. He's not really having to deal with too much harass damage. It looks like he should go back really soon because his lane opponent has bought up. And we're still seeing... Oh, and no, JP dodges hook. Never mind.
Yeah, it does get flayed back, but unfortunately Ezreal is not in position to follow up on it. JP actually is playing rather aggressively forward, but considering the early lane advantage he got, he can do this. He can effectively trade between these two and come out ahead.
Yeah, and he has that Vamp Scepter in, so any trades he is going to lifesteal back up off of. I don't believe Dectum actually has any life... No, I'm wrong. He has 2 lifesteal Quints, so he at least has a little bit of sustain of his own along with the Doran's Blade, but it's nowhere near any... It's not even anywhere close to what JP has right now.
Yeah, Vamp Scepter actually gained that new icon. Ooh, Ezreal actually gained Feared. A little bit of Drain going off. Good harass with those Dark Winds. Ooh, go for it.
Night Stalker and Batman both going on the pop and drop. He does flash over the wall away from that. Batman taking relatively low as well. Night Stalker still at full health, but he did use the Death Lotus. Everything cooldown down, but that is a flash for pop and drop. And because he is Karthus, he doesn't have any other escapes. Expect Batman to return to that lane very shortly here.
Yes, indeed. Currently, Sejuani, Batman actually going for the blue buff. I do not believe Katarina will go for this because she is manaless unless she really wants the cooldown. So that means Sejuani gets a second blue, which means she's going to level up to 6 a little bit faster, have that ultimate for even more powerful ganks.
Yeah, and one thing that Night Stalker has been doing so far, he is winning his lane without having to go back. He finally went back, actually for a revolver, a Hextech revolver, a little more spell vamp and sustain, even without potions. And that's, I want to say that's going into a Hextech Gunblade. It's not something you see too often on Katarina anymore, but it is still a thing. It's a little bit more burst damage. You have that active. It's not anything the likes of a Deathfire Grasp, but it is extra damage, and it's. I believe she actually does scale with both attack damage and ability power, so it's not a bad item. It's just not something you see too much of.
Yeah, it's kind of fallen out of favor in Season 3. Since her rework, I believe her attack damage ratios were reduced a little bit. Her Sinister Steel W and Death Lotus, I do believe both of them scale off attack damage, though not as well as their ability power counterparts, which is why you see most Katarinas these days build that ability power. However, the attack damage ratios are still there, and the active can come in handy, especially in a heavy CC team with Sejuani, Renekton, and Fiddlesticks. She can add her own slows just in case she's trying to chase somebody down 1v1. So it's definitely not a bad item, just a little bit unorthodox right now. I do also want to note that she did burn Summoner Teleport to get back into lane quickly, make sure Karthus didn't push that lane up too far.
Yeah, and that's one option down for her. The Requiem and Teleport are still available for pop and drop, so he's able to put more global pressure down the Night Stalker will be for the next few minutes until that's back off of cooldown. Night Stalker is just dancing circles around pop and drop right now, dodging Lele's with everything, including like just basic movement speed and jumping around the Shunpo. And he's taking no damage. He went back, bought 4 potions and that Hextech revolver. And even if he has taken damage since then, he's just sustained it back up with a spell vamp.
Yeah, that boot opening is actually working wonders for him, just dancing around those lay wastes, just like you said, and be able to avoid the harassment of Karthus. Karthus, not really known for his early game harassment, but if he can land those lay wastes on champions, he can definitely pressure them out, just get close and
Happy birthday,
completely
bot lane.
destroy
Crow
them.
goes
Ooh,
in
go
with the
for
Crow
it.
Storm. Dectum taken down very low, almost down. Yes, JP does pick up that kill. Aaron is my name is exhausted. One last auto attack will finish that off after a collateral damage. Double kill for JP.
Great double kill for JP. That's going to definitely cement their level advantage. Currently level 8 to 6, a 2-level advantage between AD carries right now. Hecarim coming in to try to prevent that CS from going to waste. He's going to at least pick up the experience from this if he's not able to last hit it. Looks like Graves and Fiddlesticks are going to hang around a little bit.
I would
actually,
imagine.
Sejuani's coming down.
Yeah. He's coming out to try to brush. No ward on that position. Anyway, JP is actually about 1 or 200 gold off of a Bloodthirster, so I can imagine that's why he's staying. He's sitting on about 2.3k right now, so that's about 1500 for BF sword plus 850 for the combination. So that's about 2400 even right there, which he just passed, and he's going back right now.
Yeah, looks like currently hanging out of base, waiting for that. Picks up a Bloodthirster straight out the bat. This means he's going to have a notorious amount of damage over Ezreal, who currently is purely sitting on a Vamp Scepter, a Doran's Blade, and a Tear of the Gods. So yeah, he's going to have the mana, but he's not going to have the attack damage. Meanwhile, Hecarim getting caught out.
Yeah, Dark Passage is there to save the day, though. Very good supporting from Aaron is my name. No one available to chase. No ultimates burned in that engagement either. Batman didn't really want to use the Glacial Prison just for a chase onto a kill that he probably still wouldn't have gotten.
Yeah, great positioning
anyway.
by Thresh to get that Lantern, get Hecarim out of there as quickly as possible. He was a dead horse if he was going to try to stay and fight that. Thankfully, he didn't. Thresh was able to pick up a very safe escape. So something's going right for the blue team at least, but right now 0-4 and a 2k gold lead 12 minutes in, that's actually pretty significant right now.
Yeah, the only one really keeping the lane even so far is Pop and Drop in the mid lane. CS is dead even right now. Top lane, there's a significant advantage to Dumacher. Bottom lane, there's a 3 kill lead for JP, as well as about a 5 to 10 CS lead.
Yeah,
Everything that Backdoor Heroes is doing right now is just winning for them.
yeah, 3 of the 4 kills going to JP, and of course the remaining kill is actually going to his support. So bottom lane is currently completely dominating. Backdoor Hero is doing a very good job of maintaining their lane prowess against the Ezreal Thresh lane composition. So right now it's going to come down to whether Ezreal is able to farm his way back up to an even matchup against JP, but really JP has 3 kills. He's already got his Bloodthirster. It's going to be a long road for McDonald's or esports.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, it was 12 minutes on the clock before either top laner backed off to buy.
Oh wow.
Just both of them had stayed up in that lane so long, and Lag TV was low mana that entire time and managed to keep about a 15 CS gap where it was. He did go back for the Seeker's Arm Guard and Sork Boots as well. On the other side, we have Mercury Treads for both the Magic Resistance Tenacity and the Brutalizer. But in bot lane, we have a gank. Porance going in. Devastating charge. Not devastating charge. Onslaught of Shadows used. JP caught out. The True Shot Barrage actually misses him. Collateral damage being thrown back. Barrier Pop had decked him just enough damage to live through that Graves Burst.
That was a very close barrier.
Yeah, and I'm a little hesitant to actually accept where that kill went to. Having it on the jungler, who really just has that Spirit of the Elder Lizard, and instead of the bot laner who's 3 kills down, and CS is about even now after that. But
yeah, the one silver lining. Go ahead.
It's just not the best place for the kill to go right now because they need the Ezreal back in the game against the Graves who already has Bloodthirster.
Yeah. Right now, though, considering the advantage that Backdoor Heroes currently has, they'll take all the kills they can get no matter where it goes to. And keep in mind, Ezreal did get an assist off that, and that was a shutdown kill. Graves was on a killing spree with those 3 kills. So that was still quite a bit of gold that did go to a Decnum on Ezreal. So he's going to be able to probably try to get his way back into lane. Currently didn't use much of that gold on damage-based items, just picked up boots, still sitting on the Vamp Scepter and the Doran's Blade. Keep in mind right now, Backdoor Hero is going for a Dragon Fill Sticks, able to drain that down alongside Sejuani. I do believe she does have Smite up. Actually, Sejuani getting grabbed and taken very low. Dragon alongside the True Shot Barrage is going to finish her off, and that means that Backdoor Heroes is going to have to retreat from this.
What? Okay, first of all, backing up. Crow Storm was actually used to get extra damage on the dragon, and it wasn't enough. Drain was there, but there's no AP behind that Fiddlesticks. And actually, I didn't notice at all until the dragon was started. Batman actually had an Oracle that is about timed out by now.
Oh my god.
It is actually timed out during that death time. But he had been wearing that for the last 4 minutes, and that's an extremely early oracles. I can imagine it was actually put to good use because there is a lot of warding all over the map for both teams, especially in the river area. But the one thing I can't help but notice is that there were no real ganks during that time from Batman. Glacial Prison I don't even think has been used once this game, and he's level 8 by this point. So even with that Oracle's in, he hasn't really gained much of an advantage apart from vision and information. Dragon did eventually go over to McDonald's for esports, the first in the game, and it's really brought the gold deficit from all the CS and kills back to even. It's 200 gold difference now.
Yeah, McDonald's or esports has done a good job in maintaining objectives, getting that catch onto during that dragon fight during Backdoor Heroes, able to catch who was it? I think it was trying to look, catching Sejuani with that death sentence while she was tanking Dragon and combining that with the True Shot Barrage, was able to get a really good kill I believe that kill went to Ezreal. Yes, that went to Ezreal. So that got him some much needed gold. Hopefully he's going to be able to come back from this lane. But you're right in that the gold has now stabilized. It is still 2 to 4, but right now it is only, I believe, a 400 gold lead. So things stabilizing right now for McDonald's or esports, but I do believe they still have a long way to go to catch up for this.
Yeah, Batman's looking for a gank in the top lane. I don't think he was actually seen going up there. He's not even standing on top of a ward. But Polrance is here for a counter gank nonetheless. So I guess there was some Spidey sense going on. Batman is actually backed off just to farm his double goals. So Polarance is still in the wings, looking for an engage, and it looks like he might go in.
Yeah,
And no.
Hecarim charging in. Oh, good flash by Renekton to stop or to avoid the knockup of Devastating Charge. I do believe Diana was playing passively because she was extremely out of mana. I do not believe she could engage even with a single Moonfall would she want to. So currently both junglers hanging out in this lane. Hecarim actually overextending a little bit. Here comes Sejuani. Is she going to want to charge in on this? No, Hecarim able to get away with that Devastating Charge.
Yeah, but nevertheless, Flash burned in. Actually, it looks like Night Stalker. No, it looks like he was running up to the top lane for a second. Polarance is looking to clear these minions, get backdoor off the turret, and no, he's going down. He's dead.
Ooh, dive in top lane. Sejuani able to pick up the kill. The teleport from Karthus was too late. He's going to come in just to kill some minions right now. Great kill and dive by Sejuani.
I'm surprised he hasn't used Requiem because Demacher got extremely low in that engagement. Either there was just no communication about his health or something went wrong, but that would have been a very easy kill for him right there. He does already have the blasting one, so a little bit of AP under his belt, but I'm honestly very surprised he didn't use that ultimate.
Renekton was only sitting at about 240 health, so you are right. I'm surprised as well that Requiem did not come out. Perhaps wasn't too sure about Renekton's base magic resist. He is currently sitting at about well, he was sitting around I believe 71. He's now at 113. Just picked up a Negatron cloak, but probably wasn't too sure about his health. Probably didn't get a good read on it. Wasn't able to get a good read from his team. Wanted to make sure he saved it for perhaps a better or a more confident case. Katarina currently teleporting back to lane. Renekton returning to lane as well. He has a Negatron cloak. 113 magic resist, 71 armor, trying to face off against Diana. Karthus actually flashing over the wall. Katarina gained him extremely low.
Yeah, Polarance going in here, but looks like Batman was sitting in the wing still. Crow caught out by a death sentence in the bot lane. Box goes down. JP and Declan going at it. Barrier used. Crow Storm used. Or not, that's just drain channeling. Crow Storm was used earlier.
Two flashes out.
JP going in.
Ezreal overextending.
Barrier pops. Both exhaust going down. Last Mystic shot, and finally one auto attack from Polarance will finish that off. Crow forced a flash away from that, though. Both Declan was dropped very low in that engagement. He's actually sitting on about 3.3k now, so I'm surprised he hasn't gone back in a while. First turret of the game goes down the mid lane after Pop and Drop is forced to go back. Night Stalker picking that up. It's about 1.5 gold advantage to backdoor heroes. Polarance going back into the mid lane, but Night Stalker is Katarina, so he gets away pretty quickly.
Yeah, Ezreal finally able to spend some of his hard-earned gold. He has him back even after getting those 2 shutdown kills. Picks up a Bloodthirster straight out of that Vamp Scepter, as well as Ionian Boots of Lucidity. So chances are we are going to see the poke-heavy blue Ezreal build, but he does have some of the raw attack damage out of that Bloodthirster, meaning his mid-game is going to be a little bit more powerful while he's waiting for those tier stacks to charge up. Bit of an attempted gank in top lane. Renekton was able to get away from that, however. And right now, lanes appear to be stabilizing. The game has calmed down to the point where people are starting to farm back up again. But again, tower is down for the mid lane, meaning Karthus is going to be extremely vulnerable if Katarina wants to get aggressive. Currently, the wards wards are everywhere right now. Both teams warding very effectively, both offensively and defensively. Backdoor Heroes really focusing on that river and, of course, the single ward in the mid lane, whereas McDonald's Esports focusing their wards in the north side jungle, looking for any incursions in both mid and top lane.
And one thing, especially about the wards, I didn't point out after that Oracles. Right after the dragon was taken the first time, there were about 4 or 5 pink wards for backdoor heroes, just around the bot lane dragon area. Laxivy and Doomacher going at it in the top lane. Dominus is actually popped, but Doomacher doesn't quite follow it up. Uses it, I guess, just for the health or something. But
he
yeah,
does have a cannon minion.
And the Knight goes down. Oh, flashed out of the slice and dice. Doomacher doesn't quite pick up the kill, but flash forced.
And good flash to get out of that slice and dice. Diana's going to be able to recall with her life, meaning that she will miss this minion wave and may lose this turret, but at least she does escape and avoid giving Renekton that personal 300 gold.
One thing I'm a little confused about is where Doomacher is taking his build right now. He's just sitting on a bunch of components that really I don't think any of them build into anything together. It looks like Batman is hovering on the spot lane, diving into the turret, actually pulls turret aggro right there. Turret itself is very low. It looks like they'll try to force this down and get dragon pretty soon. But no ultimates used on either side. All 3 of those are in the bot lane right now are still available. Crow Storm, collateral damage. Turret finally goes down, but we haven't engaged. Box.
Yeah, bot lane
Box.
engagement going down. Graves gains some huge burst, gets caught by the death sentence. Here comes the Karthus Requiem. Hecarim charging right into the fray. Maybe able to take down Graves. He is extremely low, juking back, unfortunately going right into Ezreal. He's able to pick up the kill, and Sejuani's barely able to escape with that Arctic Assault.
Almost taking down the Batman there, but he is a fairly tanky now, especially with the Negatron Cloak and Spirit of the Ancient Golem in there, as well as actually the Ninja Tabia, which I believe also reduced Mystic Shot damage, just because it does work like an auto attack. But that is a turret down, and now a Dragon answered with 2 other kills. Map advantage overall for Backdoor Heroes, but the trade overall was in favor of McDonald's Esports.
Yeah, the trades have been relatively even in terms of objectives as compared to champion kills. So despite exchanges going back and forth, Backdoor Heroes still does maintain a small gold lead, but the kills have stabilized thanks to McDonald's Esports' superb dragon control and knowing how and when to engage. They've had a couple of engaging mishaps in the early game, but they've really been able to catch back up. Meanwhile, Katarina caught out by the Moonfall from Diana. She goes in, tries to get as much damage as possible. Unfortunately, goes down to the combined efforts of Boosk and Papa Drop.
Yeah, Night Stalker realized there was no getting out of that. He didn't have even a ward in his inventory to Shunpo too that he could place down. He just accepted his own fate, put down as much damage, and Death Lotus isn't the biggest of cooldowns, so it's really no big deal that was popped. TV bounce. Oh, actually, Democker tries to flash in, bails it over the wall, but Glacial Prison goes down. Zoni is out of Black TV, but he should go down here very shortly. First kill of that fight. JP is around here looking for an ultimate combo and does take out Pop and Drop. He goes down again. 1 for 1 after that, and no turrets really going down for that, but the rest of Backdoor is kind of going towards the Baron area. No. They were all headed towards that area. I thought they were going to get Baron.
Yeah, all of them were cycling up, but may have had a last-second decision in their Skycaller team chat and decided, no, not quite. It's a little bit too early in the game. Keep in mind, JP did burn Flash, but Flash combined with Quick Draw gives Graves an exceptional amount of mobility, and because of that, he was able to flash in, Quick Draw, and use a superb area of effect burst and pick up that kill. Looks like Sejuani was spotted cycling down. Thresh may be in a bit of trouble, but keep in mind Sejuani is rather low. Thresh does have an Oracle, so killing him would be vital.
Yeah, and again, the oracles on this patch does not go away after death. It just wastes time while you're dead. It persists through death, but the time that's wasted because of the death timer is still worth killing the oracles over.
Yeah, Oracles was changed, I believe, a couple of patches ago to actually persist through death, but to compensate, it does have a shorter time of activation, so you have less time to actually clear those wards out. So it's a little more consistent, a little less punishing for when you die, but it is still, if you do die, that's time spent not clearing wards. So Thresh is going to be a priority target if the red team wants to keep vision control, but right now their wards are rather spread out and doing a very good job of maintaining vision of river and inner jungle, whereas the wards for oh god, why am I blanking on their name? The blue team are rather non-existent right now. McDonald's, thank you. Right now they're actually rather non-existent, currently only holding rather defensive positions in their southern jungle.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with just neither Pop and Drop nor Lag TV have really been putting out too many wards for themselves. Oh, Glacial Prison pops in the bot lane, Declan taking very low. Forced a flash and a failed flash by Batman over that wall just to chase. Did not work out, and quick Arcane Shift away will get him there. Night Stalker trying to Shunpo over the wall. Doesn't look like he has quite the range for that. But Aaron is my name. I'm not sure if he saw that ward go down there. But yeah, Night Stalker Shunpoing over to Crow. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at the Dragon timer. It should be respawning at 28:53, so it's not for a couple more minutes. They're hanging around this area, and actually the mid turret goes down just because Live TV found that opportunity. But he might get cut out here. He's getting pinched from a couple of sides. Even Democker is coming around, but he wants to go in on Pop and Drop. Pop and Drop taking already down to half health. Dominance Pop. Pop and Drop almost dead here. Flashes away, and meanwhile, towards the mid lane, actually, Requiem going down, a lot of AoE damage popped. I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. So much of it was all on top of each other. 4 for 3 overall. 4 for 3 overall in favor of Backdoor Heroes. Delayed ace there, Democker picking that up. Might go down to the minions, but he should be able to get away from this.
Yeah,
That
looks
was
like tons of engagements everywhere. Renekton trying to duel Karthus 1 versus 1, just barely escaping by the skin of his teeth. And I do believe Ezreal tried to dive into that fight right at the end because he knew the Karthus Requiem was coming in. So he wanted to try to dive in and get as much damage on everyone as possible. Unfortunately, when an AD carry dives in the middle of 3 people, he usually explodes pretty quick. So that's pretty much what happened to him. Thankfully, it did give a Karthus. I do believe Karthus got a double kill out of that. Yes, currently 3-2 right now. Renekton was able to get that. No, actually, he was not able to get that Aaron turret. So, looks like actually a teleport being canceled.
I believe so. Yes, that was definitely canceled. Night Stalker was popping that. I didn't even notice where he was going to until you said it. But yeah, it does reset a lot of the cooldown. It's not the full 5-minute cooldown if you cancel it yourself. So we should get that back a lot quicker. The dragon should be respawning here within about 30 seconds or so. 30 or 40 seconds. That was quite a lot of action, and not a whole lot came off of it. There was a lot of damage on the top turret. The second tier mid turret actually went down to JP, but that was really it. And only 2 members left to push. You don't expect too much out of it, but that was just so chaotic, that whole fight. Now a few items completed across the board. We have actually Seraph's Embrace completed and Rod of Ages. Now the Iceborne Gauntlet on the Ezreal. On the other side, we have a Death Cap. Will of the Ancients actually on Katarina. That wasn't Gunblade, it was Voda. Almost surprised there. But, and it kind of works because there is a lot of ability damage. Now Pop and Drop getting jumped on by Night Stalker. He's answered by Polarance, but Pop and Drop is getting very caught out here. Actually, yeah, he's dead. But Crow getting very low as well. He's going down to Pop and Drop with his passive. JP around the side. Declan Arcane shifts back over the wall to avoid the AoE damage. Batman might get caught out now, though he just dodges the Death Sentence. He's getting chased by Polarance, but he just charges away. JP putting out a lot of return damage here. Shunpo away from the True Shot Barrage. It's only a 1-for-1.
Yeah, and just like the last fight, that was a lot of chaos just going everywhere. AD carries were charging into the middle of teams. Bruisers were engaging AP carries. It was just a whole big mess. Very little positioning, just pretty much a straight-out free-for-all. And in the end, I do believe McDonald's Esports came out with, or actually no, it was a 1-for-1 exchange, Phil 6 for Karthus. So a whole lot of chaos going on right now, and it's really going to depend upon which team is able to find an opening within this 5 versus 5 madness, pick up more kills than the opposing team, and really start sieging those turrets.
Yeah, but despite a 1-for-1, the backdoor heroes did have control over Dragon. One thing I noticed during that fight was Batman actually had a Banshee's Veil. Not a very common second item on junglers, but it's really just in place, really just against the magic damage that they have. Even Declan as Ezreal, he has a lot of magic damage in his ultimate and a couple of his abilities, as well as the Karthus Requiem. You always want a spell shield for that Requiem if you can get it, and that's exactly what he built for.
Yeah, it's really going to take proper timing on Sejuani to really have that Banshee's Veil up for those key spells, the True Shot Barrage, the Requiem, even during poke situations with the Death Sentence. It's really going to take timing to have that Banshee's Veil up to block those key spells because Sejuani is a tank. She's really going to want to be up there absorbing spells left and right. So if McDonald's Esports is able to bait that Banshee's Veil and hit Sejuani with a key spell, it could mean everything.
Yeah, and especially with the new Banshee's Veil on this last patch, it actually gives you a nice bit of sustain back if you end up taking poke. And that's... McDonald's actually doesn't have a whole lot of poke. Ooh, flash away. The live TV forced to flash away from the Death Lotus there. Polarance going though. He wants to fight this 1v2, but he doesn't quite have live TV backing him up there. He was very low in health after that engage after he was forced to flash.
Yeah, Hecarim being a little hesitant there with that engage. Currently, Katarina and Renekton trying to press that top lane as much as possible. They really want to try to get that turret to try to regain some objective control.
Yeah, and I just noticed Live TV is actually building a Lich Bane. That's not the most frequent item you see on Diana's these days, but he's looking for as much trade damage as he can get. He's actually going in. He's going to take down Katarina. Yeah, he does. Demaker pops the Dominus, but Pop and Drop is here. He should be able to burn down Demaker. Zonia's popped, and Demaker actually will not get that kill.
Crowstorm.
On the bottom lane. A lot of damage going down the bot lane. Requiem coming out, almost takes down the JP. Actually, no kills resulting in that Requiem anywhere on the board. Pop and drop taken very low, forced the flash. Dumacher going in. He will actually drop down to the turret dive, a shutdown towards that Karthus. Polrance getting caught by a fear. Popping the Ghost actually going and chasing after Crow. He should be able to get this. It's only 1v1. Jungler support. He might be able to get this kill. Fear is down. Silence goes out. Flash over the wall from Crow. No flash available for Polrance. He does have the Ghost, and ultimate was down. But there's still no one in this area. He could chase if he wants to, but he has no vision. So he just decides to back off, let the flash go for the Ghost, and he disengages.
And even despite all of that chaos, only 2 kills were picked up for McDonald's and Esports versus the 1 for Backdoor Heroes. So despite all of that chaos, so few kills have been going down. So many back and forth trades have been going on between these 2 teams. So it's really going to take a sustained fight to get some accomplishments done here, because right now these guys keep fighting each other to stalemates.
I believe that was actually 2 for 1. The Night Stalker was taken right before before the inner top turret went down. Live TV took him out. But yeah, again, it's not really a whole lot of kills. The gold overall is not really drastically in favor of Backdoor Heroes, but they have the map control. They're 5 turrets to 2, and actually Night Stalker caught out. And he's not dead yet. He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah, not able to get out of there. Not able to shumpo to much of anything. Ezreal with superior mobility in that instance, able to pick up the kill. And I want to note that presently, Backdoor Heroes is doing a very good job still of maintaining vision. Currently sight wards in the south jungle, along with vision wards covering the north side of Baron. Currently 3 pink wards covering that northern side, making sure that McDonald's or Esports does not have vision of that area. There may be a Baron attempt soon if they can get the proper team fight. Right now, Ezreal and Thresh are currently split pushing that top lane though, so other priorities are currently at hand.
Yeah, it's something that McDonald's really hasn't done at all this game, is really establish any vision control. There's no oracles currently on Backdoor Heroes. Fear goes on to deck them, but the Dark Passage is there to get him away. He's fine. But really, I think it's only Aaron is my name that's been warding, and that really surprised me. Teleport popped in the top lane. Night Stalker just trying to defend that turret. Nothing too big there. Won't have that available to jump across the map for any split pushing though. Meanwhile in mid lane, it looks like Pop and Drop is getting some damage on this mid turret, but he is only a Karthus. He's not the best auto attacker. He does join up with this jungler Polrance, and actually Night Stalker might be caught out here. He's on top of a ward.
Ooh, Night Stalker getting caught out. He does have Shumpo, able to Shumpo to Karthus. Very good job. Fiddle with the fear to try to peel Katarina away. Karthus trying to walk in, taking quite a minute of supplemental poke, but goes down to the lay waste of Karthus, dealing double damage to single target champions. Meanwhile, bot lane, Graves able to pick up a kill on Thresh. Sejuani locking Diana up. Here comes the Karthus Requiem. Graves picking up the double kill. Requiem not enough, actually enough to pick up Renekton right after Renekton picks up the kill on Ezreal. So again, chaos simply reigning across the battlefield. 3 for 2 exchange. Sejuani did not go down in that fight.
Yeah, it looks like Polrance wants to kill on Batman real quick here. He's not focusing on JP. Batman has enough tankiness to deal with this for now. He should get away here. A lot of damage from JP back on the Polrance. He's just focusing the wrong target here.
That was actually That was a beautiful loop around flash to pull Hecarim back into Graves' auto attack range. And actually, here comes Karthus with the revive home guard boots, trying to dive into Graves. Graves is out of mana. Here comes the Seraph shield. So much protection from Karthus, able to burn down Graves before he could burn through that shield.
Yeah, and we haven't even been paying too much attention to Karthus' itemization right now. Pop and Drop now has over 500 AP on Karthus, especially with that Death Cap in there. Rod of Ages and the Seraph's Embrace, ton of AP. And we saw it just previously when he was on Night Stalker. The one lay waste took him down from about 500 to dead, just very quickly.
And I'd like to note, we're 36 minutes in. Karthus has 306 CS compared to Katarina's 250. So even those who are saying in the high 200s of CS, the creep counts are off the board right now, and that's simply due to the nature of this game. There has been no middle ground with any of these fights. Either everyone is farming or everyone is just raining chaos upon each other. slaughtering people left and right. So it's been a rather interesting game. There's been a lot of farming and a lot of team fight. There's been no middle ground whatsoever.
One thing I want to point out is that Crow just picked up the blue buff as a support. And it doesn't really surprise me too much because both the mid laner and the top laner are both manaless champs, completely resourceless. And really there's just the cooldowns there, but Crow just wants enough mana to keep putting down at least a little bit of poke in these fights, keep the fear and really all of his cooldowns available as crowd control, because he is one of those more utility champions. Pop Drop getting jumped on by Demaker in the mid lane. Flash actually forced by Demaker. Polarine's forcing that just by jumping in there. Yeah, that was a little bit surprising.
Really wanted to avoid that really wanted to avoid that Karthus wall, I guess. Wanted to make sure he didn't get engaged on by a team that was hiding in wait. But unfortunately, ward control is not for the red team, so I don't think Renekton had enough knowledge to say I can get out of this safely without my flash. I think he just burned that to be safe. Currently, they're actually cycling north. May want to go for Baron.
And despite all the ward control that McDonald's hasn't had, they do actually have a ward on Baron right now. So they're not going completely without notice. They won't be able to sneak it quite as much as they were hoping. And the rest of McDonald's has been given enough time to react to this. And Crow taken very low from 2 Qs. Demaker as well. And again, Demaker hasn't been building too much defense. He has a Spirit Visage and the makings of a Sunfire cape. That's why Crow actually is dead.
Ooh,
wow. Okay, that was
getting
fast.
caught out instantly there. Yeah, that was a ton of burst damage going out. Thresh actually burning the Banshee's Veil. Sejuani caught by the Wall of Pain. She's probably going to try to wait to Arctic Assault over the wall. Unfortunately, she Arctic Assaults into 3 people, getting knocked back by the Devastating Charge. He comes down with the Moonfall, locking her in place. Nice ultimate to lock all 4 of them up. Failed flash, but nice death sentence to catch her. Thresh flying over, locking her up, and now Renekton's in a bit of trouble, surrounded by all 5. Keep in mind, Ezreal's Muramana is finished, so he's going to have a massive power spike. Yeah, and unfortunately, 5 versus 1, definitely not the odds for Renekton. Dominus is not going to help him in the slightest there. He gets taken down, locking the Iron Solari pop just in case of any excessive tower damage, and this is the blue team's time to take Baron.
3 for 9 there. Very good trade for McDonald's, and they should be able to pick up this Baron. Smite not really available. Neo Night Stalker doesn't really have any abilities that can easily steal Baron, but he's cut out and he's dead. He's dead. Lichbane, very good burst from Lactivy, and the Baron does go down for McDonald's. Actually, they finally actually gotten a gold lead in this game. It's only a 1.4k at the moment, but it's something they haven't had all game long.
Yeah, the definite turnaround, though, right now is that Baron buff that the blue team just picked up. We're late enough in the game that the gold lead is going to start dropping on, or the meaningness, that's a word, yeah. The meaningness of the gold lead is going to start dropping off, and it's really going to come down to champion skill and team fights. But the key here is that Baron buff that McDonald's Esports just picked up. They're pretty much this game is going to hinge on how they use that Baron buff.
Yeah, they really need to wrestle back some map control there. 2 to 6 in turrets. With the Baron buff, they should be able to finish off all the remaining turrets outside of Backdoor's base, or at least most of them by the time that's out. Starting with this outer top turret, it's really going to be very hard to defend by this point. Only really Demaker is in the area for that. No one's anywhere close to get there in time. And really, they should just let it go by this point. It's the farthest turret away from the base. It doesn't mean quite as much. And Demaker with a mostly glass cannon Renekton build is not the best one to defend that. It's actually getting chased by Lactivy bounce as that turret finally does go down. Crow hanging out in the wings, cut out by Aaron is my name, puts the fear down and flashes away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, actually Pop and Drop going on JP again. But Night Stalker is there, flashed away for Pop and Drop there. He should be able to get away from this. But meanwhile, in the top lane, rest of them, actually Night Stalker doesn't quite have Shunpo available. As soon as it's off cooldown, yes, it's a dead part of this. Requiem comes out though, helping out the top lane team fight. Everyone is just melting in the top lane. Crow drops down first, Demaker very low as well. The shield pop from the Locket, Batman getting jumped on now. JP joins in the fight, but he's already low. Dectum getting low from the turret as well. He should be out fine. But that's 2 for 1 across the map. And the next top turret should be there for McDonald's.
Yeah, one thing to note during that fight, Renekton getting taken down by Diana, by the way, and also picking up Graves, who was just a little bit out of position, Diana having that extra moonfall. But in that previous team fight, one thing to note, the key turnaround, actually, I'll get that in just a second, as Thresh lands the death sentence on Katarina, picks her up once again, that is the ace. And one thing I want to
Yeah,
know on that previous team fight is that the moment Hecarim ulted in, the red team had a distinct advantage and was looking to disengage, but Hecarim timed his ultimate perfectly and was able to push all of the red team into that tower, meaning they had easy pickings on the low health red team.
yeah, the McDonald's doesn't really have any minions right now. As I say, the next wave walks right up. They're looking to actually to finish the game right here. The death timers are long enough; they should be able to do it. Crow is really the only one here to defend, but no. Lag TV does take him out. The last Nexus turret drops. Sejuani is available. Batman just looking to defend this with his life, but he's 1v5 against his next 1v4, sorry. And the Nexus does go down. GGWP is all called. McDonald's takes this game.
Very good comeback by McDonald's Esports, using their champions to their greatest effect, controlling those objectives, picking up the win with that clutch Baron take. McDonald's Esports, your winners for Game 4.
Yes, and that was the last game for today. Join us tomorrow while we finish off the rest of this tournament. We start with the losers bracket, and I have to pull up the team names real quick here. It looks like it will be, sorry, no, sorry, the page was already rushed. Anyway, we have Monday Markip here, people. He wants to get a quick word to you.